Samsung didn't shout about the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and that's exactly why you should pay attention. Because behind these leaks is a phone that quietly fixes almost every Ultra complaint. The design looks familiar, but the details tell a completely different story. And once you understand what Samsung changed, the S26 Ultra starts to feel dangerous for competitors. Before watching, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, so that you can get notified on daily tech updates. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is emerging as one of Samsung's most calculated flagship upgrades, and leaked official visuals are finally revealing the bigger picture. At first glance, the phone doesn't scream radical change, but that's exactly the point. Samsung appears to be shifting away from flashy redesigns and focusing instead on refining every detail that matters in daily use. This is a strategic pivot, a move away from the noise of the market and toward a philosophy of enduring quality. It's a statement that says, "We've already built the future. Now we're making it perfect." The new camera layout immediately signals this mindset. It's more structured, more layered, and gives the S26 Ultra a stronger identity that separates it from previous generations. This design choice doesn't just look premium, it hints at serious internal camera upgrades hiding underneath. The arrangement of the lenses, moving away from the more scattered look of its predecessor, creates a sense of cohesion and purpose. It's no longer just a collection of sensors, it's an integrated imaging system, a visual promise of what lies within. The overall body of the Galaxy S26 Ultra looks slimmer and more refined, even though the camera bump itself is more pronounced. This isn't accidental. Samsung seems to have reduced the phone's thickness while allowing the camera hardware to grow, prioritizing performance over flat aesthetics. Larger camera apertures require physical space, and Samsung is clearly betting that users will accept a slightly raised camera module in exchange for better photos and videos. It's a mature decision, and one that suggests Samsung is targeting creators and power users more aggressively than before. In an era where many manufacturers are obsessed with making their phones as thin as possible, often at the expense of battery life or camera capabilities, Samsung is making a bold counter statement. They are acknowledging a fundamental truth for the people who rely on their phone as their primary creative tool. A few extra millimeters on the camera island are a small price to pay for a massive leap in image quality. This is engineering with a clear user in mind, not just a spec sheet to fill. On the front, the display still dominates, but Samsung has softened the edges compared to earlier Ultra models. This change alone could dramatically improve comfort during long sessions, especially for users who consume content, edit photos, or multitask heavily. The bezels appear slightly more uniform, creating a cleaner, more symmetrical look. While ultra-thin bezels look impressive in renders, real-world usability often suffers, and Samsung seems to be correcting that balance with the S26 Ultra. The harsh, sharp corners of previous models, while visually striking, could dig into your palm during extended use. By rounding them off, even if only subtly, Samsung is making a commitment to ergonomics that goes beyond mere aesthetics. It's a recognition that a phone is not just a piece of technology to be admired from a distance, but a tool to be held, used, and lived with for hours on end. This attention to the tactile experience is a hallmark of a truly thoughtful design. Another subtle but important shift is the redesigned S Pen placement. The stylus now fits more naturally into the phone's structure, aligning better with the overall geometry. This improves both ergonomics and internal efficiency. While there's no strong indication of advanced new S Pen features, its continued presence reinforces the Ultra's identity as a productivity-first flagship. Samsung isn't abandoning power users, instead, it's quietly doubling down on them. Leaked images of the S Pen itself suggest a potential two-tone color scheme, with the tip matching the phone's exterior finish, a small but meaningful touch that integrates the stylus more fully into the device's identity. Hey, this isn't just a pen tucked into a slot. It's an extension of the phone itself, a core part of the Galaxy Ultra experience that Samsung is carefully preserving and refining. In a market where other manufacturers have abandoned the idea of a built-in stylus, Samsung's continued investment in the S Pen is a powerful signal of its dedication to a specific, professional user base. Camera performance is where the Galaxy S26 Ultra could truly separate itself. Leaks suggest that both the main camera and the periscope zoom lens are receiving larger apertures. This translates directly into better low-light performance, cleaner night video, improved dynamic range, and more natural background blur. Zoom video, in particular, is expected to see noticeable gains. For users who rely on their phone for content creation, travel shooting, or social media video, this could be one of the most impactful upgrades Samsung has made in years. The main sensor is widely reported to be the 200MP ISOCELL HP2, a powerhouse of a sensor that has been teased for some time. But the real magic isn't just in the megapixel count, it's in the aperture. Rumors point to an f/1.4 aperture for the main shooter, a significant improvement over previous generations. A wider aperture like this allows more light to hit the sensor, which is the single most important factor in capturing clean, detailed images in challenging lighting conditions. It's the difference between a grainy, noisy photo and a crisp, vibrant one when you're out at dusk, or in a dimly lit restaurant. This focus on the fundamentals of photography, light capture, is a refreshing change from the industry's obsession with gimmicks. Instead of adding another AI-powered mode that does little more than apply a filter, Samsung is investing in the core physics of the camera. The periscope telephoto lens is also getting a major upgrade, reportedly jumping to a 50MP sensor with an f/4 aperture. This is a huge leap forward for zoomed-in photography and, critically, for zoomed-in video. High-resolution video at 5x or 10x optical zoom has always been a weak spot for smartphones, often resulting in soft, blurry footage. With a higher resolution sensor and a more capable aperture, the S26 Ultra could finally make high-magnification video a genuinely viable creative tool. Imagine being able to record a concert from the back of the venue, or capture wildlife on a safari, without your footage looking like a pixelated mess. This is the kind of practical, powerful upgrade that truly matters to a serious mobile photographer or videographer. One feature many users were worried about losing is reverse wireless charging. But current information suggests it's still here. Even with internal magnets added for accessories, Samsung appears to have preserved this functionality. This decision alone positions the S26 Ultra as a more complete flagship compared to rivals that have removed features in the name of design limitations. It's a reminder that Samsung is still willing to engineer solutions, rather than remove features entirely. There was genuine concern in the tech community that the addition of Q2-compatible magnets for magnetic wireless charging would force Samsung to sacrifice its wireless PowerShare feature, which allows you to charge other devices like earbuds or smartwatches by placing them on the back of your phone. However, multiple leaks, including those detailing official specs, confirm that reverse wireless charging is indeed making a return on the S26 Ultra. This is a testament to Samsung's engineering prowess. They have found a way to integrate the new magnetic array without compromising a beloved and useful feature. It shows a respect for the user's existing ecosystem of devices, and a commitment to maintaining the phone's role as a central hub for their digital life. Storage and memory upgrades across the S26 lineup also point toward long-term value. Base models are expected to start with higher storage, reducing the pressure on users to immediately upgrade configurations. Despite these improvements, pricing is expected to remain relatively stable in major markets, although flashy pre-order bonuses may be scaled back. Instead of temporary incentives, Samsung seems focused on delivering real value out of the box. The base model of the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to come with a generous 256GB of storage, paired with 12GB of RAM. For many users, this will be more than enough space for years of apps, photos, and videos. For those who need even more, options will stretch all the way up to a staggering 1TB of storage, with the top-tier model potentially offering 16GB of RAM for the most demanding power users. This tiered approach ensures that there's a configuration for every type of user, from the casual consumer to the professional creator who treats their phone as a mobile workstation. And perhaps most surprisingly, early pricing leaks suggest that the S26 Ultra might even be slightly cheaper than its predecessor in some markets, with one report indicating a potential $100 reduction in Europe. This combination of more storage, more power, and potentially a lower price is a compelling value proposition that is hard to ignore. What makes the Galaxy S26 Ultra truly interesting is its confidence. This phone doesn't try to shock, it tries to last. Every design decision, every internal adjustment, feels intentional. Samsung isn't chasing trends here, it's refining its flagship formula with precision. If these leaks hold true, the S26 Ultra may not just be the most powerful Ultra yet, it could be the most balanced one Samsung has ever made. And as more details surface, one thing becomes clear: the Galaxy S26 Ultra isn't about loud upgrades, it's about smart ones. This is a phone built for people who actually use their devices heavily, every single day. To understand the full weight of the Galaxy S26 Ultra's evolution, you have to look beyond the immediate specifications and consider the broader context of the smartphone market in early 2026. The industry has reached a plateau of sorts. Flagship phones from every major manufacturer are incredibly powerful, boast stunning displays, and take excellent photos. The days of a single, revolutionary feature that instantly makes a phone a must-buy are largely behind us. In this environment, the battle for supremacy is no longer won by who can shout the loudest about a new gimmick, but by who can execute the fundamentals with the greatest finesse and consistency. This is the battlefield Samsung has chosen, and the S26 Ultra is its meticulously crafted weapon. For years, the Galaxy S series, particularly the Ultra variant, has been defined by its ambition. It was the phone that tried to do everything. It had the best screen, the most versatile camera system, the S Pen for productivity, and the rawest processing power. This kitchen sink approach was both its greatest strength and its most significant weakness. The strength was obvious. It was a one-stop shop for any user who wanted the absolute best in every category. The weakness, however, was a certain lack of focus. The phone could sometimes feel like a collection of brilliant individual parts that didn't always cohere into a perfectly harmonious whole. The design, while premium, could be a little busy. The software, while feature-rich, could be overwhelming. The S26 Ultra represents a conscious effort to solve this problem. It's not about adding more. It's about integrating what's already there more seamlessly and elevating the core experience to a new level of polish. This philosophy of refinement is evident in the phone's physical form. The softer, more rounded edges on the front display are a masterclass in subtle ergonomics. On paper, it's a tiny change. In your hand, it's a revelation. Previous Ultra models, with their flat screens and sharp corners, were architectural marvels but could be fatiguing to hold for long periods. The S26 Ultra's new shape feels more organic, more comfortable. It invites you to hold it, to use it, to live with it. This is a phone designed for the marathon of daily life, not just the sprint of an unboxing video. The same principle applies to the back of the device. The new, more structured camera island isn't just a cosmetic update, it's a declaration of intent. By giving the camera system its own distinct, unified housing, Samsung is visually communicating that this is a serious photographic instrument. It's no longer an afterthought tacked onto the back of a phone, it's the centerpiece of the device's identity. This focus on the camera is where the S26 Ultra strategy becomes most apparent. The jump to a 200MP main sensor has been anticipated for some time, but the rumored f/1.4 aperture is the real game-changer here. To put this in perspective, a wider aperture doesn't just let in more light, it also creates a shallower depth of field, which is the key to achieving that beautiful, creamy background blur, known as bokeh, that is so prized in professional photography. For years, smartphone manufacturers have relied on software to simulate this effect, often with mixed results that could look artificial or fail to properly isolate the subject. With a physically wider aperture, the S26 Ultra can create this effect optically, in camera, resulting in portraits and close-up shots that have a far more natural and convincing look. This is a fundamental shift from computational photography back towards optical excellence, a recognition that while software is a powerful tool, it cannot fully replace the quality of light captured by superior hardware. The implications of this upgrade extend far beyond static photography. Video is where the S26 Ultra could truly establish its dominance. Low-light video on smartphones has historically been a major pain point, often plagued by excessive noise, poor dynamic range and unstable autofocus. A wider aperture directly addresses the root cause of these issues by providing the sensor with more usable light from the very beginning. This means cleaner footage, smoother exposure transitions, and more reliable focus tracking in challenging environments. When you combine this with the expected upgrades to the telephoto system, a 50MP sensor is a massive leap forward. The S26 Ultra is shaping up to be the most capable mobile video production tool on the market. For a growing class of creators who use their phones as their primary camera for vlogging, short-form content, and even professional work, this is an incredibly powerful proposition. It's a phone that doesn't just capture moments, it empowers you to tell stories with a level of cinematic quality that was previously impossible without dedicated, bulky equipment. Of course, a phone is more than just a camera. Its role as a personal computer, a communication hub, and a gateway to the digital world, is equally important. This is where the S26 Ultra's commitment to its core identity as a productivity powerhouse comes into play. The retention and refinement of the S Pen is perhaps the clearest signal of this intent. In a world where most flagships are converging on the same basic form factor and feature set, the S Pen remains Samsung's unique differentiator. It's a tool that transforms the phone from a passive consumption device into an active creation and productivity platform. You can jot down notes in a meeting, sketch out an idea, sign a document, or precisely edit a photo in a way that is simply impossible with a finger on a touchscreen. The rumors of a redesigned S Pen that better matches the phone's aesthetic are a small but telling detail. It shows that Samsung isn't just keeping the S Pen around out of habit. They are actively thinking about how to make it a more integrated and elegant part of the overall user experience. This is a feature that caters to a specific, valuable segment of the market: professionals, artists, students, and anyone who values precision and control, and Samsung is doubling down on it with quiet confidence. Then there's the matter of the features that didn't make the cut. Or rather, the features that were almost lost, but were heroically saved. The survival of reverse wireless charging, or wireless power share, is a minor miracle of engineering in the face of new technological constraints. The industry-wide move to the Qi2 standard, which uses a ring of magnets to ensure perfect alignment with wireless chargers, presented a significant physical challenge. Those magnets occupy the very space on the back of the phone where the coil for reverse wireless charging needs to be. Many analysts predicted that Samsung would be forced to choose one or the other, and that the more niche feature, reverse charging, would be the one to go. The fact that they have apparently found a way to keep both is a powerful statement. It demonstrates a user-centric philosophy that prioritizes real-world utility over the pursuit of a perfectly flat design. It acknowledges that for many users, the ability to give their wireless earbuds a quick top-up from their phone is a genuinely useful, everyday convenience that enhances the phone's role as the center of their personal tech ecosystem. By refusing to sacrifice this feature, Samsung is showing that it listens to its users and is willing to invest in complex engineering solutions to preserve their experience. This theme of intelligent, user-focused engineering extends to the phone's internal specifications and its overall value proposition. The decision to likely start the base model at 256 GB of storage is a direct response to the ever-increasing size of apps, games, and high-resolution media files. In the past, Samsung has been criticized for keeping the base storage at a meager 128 GB on its most expensive phone, effectively forcing many buyers to spend significantly more for a usable amount of space. The S26 Ultra appears to correct this mistake, offering a much more reasonable starting point that will satisfy the needs of a far broader audience. This, combined with the potential for a slight price reduction in some markets, makes the S26 Ultra a remarkably compelling package. It's not just a showcase of the latest and greatest technology. It's a thoughtfully configured product that offers genuine long-term value. Samsung seems to be saying that they are confident enough in the phone's inherent quality that they don't need to rely on flashy, limited-time pre-order deals to drive sales. The product itself is the incentive. All of these individual threads, the ergonomic design, the optical camera upgrades, the S Pen refinement, the preservation of useful features, and the smart storage and pricing strategy, come together to form a coherent and powerful narrative. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is not a phone that is trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, it is a phone that is laser-focused on being the absolute best tool for a specific type of user: the power user, the creator, the professional, the person who demands more from their device than just basic functionality. It's a phone built for longevity, both in terms of its physical durability and its software support. With a promised 7 years of major Android upgrades, the S26 Ultra is an investment in the future, a device that is designed to stay relevant and powerful for a very long time. This long-term perspective is what makes the S26 Ultra's quiet confidence so effective. In a market saturated with noise and hype, where every new launch is accompanied by a deafening marketing blitz, Samsung's decision to let the product speak for itself is a bold and refreshing strategy. They are trusting that the people who truly understand what makes a great phone, the subtle improvements in daily usability, the tangible gains in core performance, the thoughtful preservation of key features, will recognize the S26 Ultra for what it is. It's not a revolution, it's an evolution. It's the culmination of years of learning, iterating, and listening. It's Samsung's flagship, not just in name, but in spirit, a device that embodies the company's deep understanding of its most loyal and demanding customers. As we move closer to the official launch, the leaks paint a picture of a phone that is in complete command of its own identity. It knows its strengths, it understands its audience, and it is executing its vision with remarkable precision. The Galaxy S26 Ultra isn't trying to win a popularity contest with flashy, one-off features. It's aiming for something far more valuable, enduring respect. It's building a legacy not on gimmicks, but on the solid foundation of a truly great user experience. And for anyone who uses their phone as a serious tool for work, creativity, and connection, that is a legacy worth paying very close attention to. The deeper you dive into the specifics of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, the more its philosophy of quiet confidence reveals itself as a masterstroke of product strategy. This isn't just about making a good phone, it's about redefining what a flagship phone should be in a mature market. For the past several years, the smartphone industry has been locked in an arms race of incrementalism, where each new generation offers marginal improvements wrapped in increasingly aggressive marketing. Samsung, with the S26 Ultra, appears to be stepping off that treadmill. They are signaling a shift from a focus on novelty to a focus on mastery. It's the difference between a chef who constantly experiments with bizarre, new ingredients to grab headlines, and a master chef who perfects the execution of classic dishes to an unparalleled level of excellence. The S26 Ultra is Samsung's version of that culinary masterpiece. This mastery is most evident in the phone's approach to its display, a component where Samsung has long been the undisputed leader. The company's AMOLED panels are legendary for their brightness, color accuracy, and smoothness. With the S26 Ultra, they aren't just resting on their laurels, they are refining their craft. The move to soften the screen's edges is a direct response to user feedback that, while technically impressive, the flat, sharp, cornered screens of previous Ultras could be uncomfortable for prolonged interaction. This is a classic example of a company choosing human-centered design over pure technical bravado. The screen is still a 6.9-inch QHD+ panel, likely with a 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, meaning it remains a visual powerhouse but now, it's a powerhouse that's also a pleasure to hold. This subtle change speaks volumes about Samsung's priorities for this generation. They are asking, how can we make this already incredible screen not just look better, but feel better? It's a question that many of their competitors, obsessed with pushing bezels to their absolute minimum, seem to have forgotten. This same human-centered philosophy extends to the phone's software experience, which is built on the foundation of Android 16. While the core operating system will be shared across the industry, Samsung's One UI skin is where the company's unique vision for the mobile experience comes to life. Historically, One UI has been a double-edged sword, packed with powerful features but sometimes criticized for being overly complex. The S26 Ultra's hardware refinements suggest a parallel effort on the software side to streamline and focus the experience. The integration of the S Pen, for instance, is not just a hardware story. It's a software story too. Features like Air Command, Screen Write, and Smart Select are deeply woven into the OS, creating a seamless bridge between the physical stylus and the digital interface. The rumored aesthetic tweaks to the S Pen itself hint at a desire to make this entire ecosystem feel more cohesive and premium, from the moment you pull the pen from its silo to the moment you use it to create or navigate. Furthermore, the S26 Ultra's commitment to long-term software support, up to 7 major Android upgrades, is a cornerstone of its value proposition. In a world where a 2 or 3-year software lifecycle is the norm, a 7-year promise is a seismic shift. It transforms the phone from a disposable consumer good into a long-term investment. This policy directly benefits the power user, the professional, and the environmentally conscious consumer who wants a device that will remain secure, up-to-date, and performant for many years. It's a statement that Samsung is building its flagship not just for the launch quarter, but for the long haul. This kind of forward thinking is rare in an industry built on planned obsolescence, and it further cements the S26 Ultra's position as a phone for people who think seriously about their technology choices. The camera system, as we've established, is the heart of the S26 Ultra's appeal, but its brilliance lies not just in its individual components but in their orchestration. The quad camera setup, a 200MP main, a 50MP ultra-wide and 2 telephoto lenses creates an incredibly versatile toolkit. This isn't just about having a lot of cameras, it's about having the right camera for every situation. The ultra-wide is perfect for expansive landscapes and tight interior shots. The 3x telephoto is the ideal portrait focal length, while the 5x periscope is for distant subjects and detailed close-ups. The intelligence of the system lies in how seamlessly it switches between these lenses, creating a zoom experience that feels continuous and natural, from 0.6x all the way to 100x space zoom. The hardware upgrades, particularly the wider apertures, mean that this entire zoom range is now backed by significantly better image quality, especially in low light. This holistic approach to photography, where hardware, software, and user experience are all working in concert, is what will likely set the S26 Ultra apart from competitors who may have a single excellent camera but lack the same level of system-wide integration. Even the phone's internal plumbing, its chipset and memory, is a testament to this philosophy of balanced excellence. It will be powered by the latest Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, a chip that promises blistering performance and improved power efficiency. Paired with a substantial 12GB of RAM in the base model and potentially 16GB in the highest tier, the S26 Ultra is built to handle any task, from intensive mobile gaming to complex multitasking with multiple apps running simultaneously. This raw power is essential, but it's not the end goal. The end goal is a frictionless, instantaneous user experience where the technology disappears, and you are left only with the task at hand. Whether you're editing a 4K video, navigating a complex spreadsheet, or simply scrolling through your social feed, the S26 Ultra is engineered to be effortlessly fast and responsive. Finally, the phone's battery and charging strategy completes the picture of a mature, well-considered flagship. It's expected to house a 5,000 mAh battery, a capacity that has proven to be a sweet spot for all-day endurance on large-screen devices. Combined with the efficiency gains of the new processor and display, this should translate to excellent battery life. On the charging front, while Samsung may not lead the pack in raw wattage for wired charging, its adoption of the new Qi2 standard for wireless charging is a significant step forward. Qi2 promises faster, more efficient, and more convenient wireless charging thanks to its magnetic alignment system. The fact that Samsung managed to implement this, while retaining reverse wireless charging, is a remarkable feat of engineering that underscores their commitment to a comprehensive user experience. They are not sacrificing one convenience for another, they are finding a way to deliver both. In conclusion, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is shaping up to be a landmark device. Not because it reinvents the smartphone, but because it perfects it. It is the product of a company that has listened intently to its users, learned from its past iterations, and is now applying that knowledge with a newfound sense of focus and maturity. It ditches the noise for nuance, the flash for function, and the gimmicks for genuine, lasting quality. It is a phone built with a quiet confidence that it doesn't need to scream to be heard. For the discerning user, the creator, the professional, the power user who demands the very best, the S26 Ultra isn't just another flagship. It's the definitive statement of what a modern smartphone can and should be. And that is a story worth following closely. If you've made it this far, you clearly share our passion for the thoughtful details that make a great phone truly exceptional. The Galaxy S26 Ultra's journey from rumor to reality is one of the most fascinating tech stories of the year, and we'll be here to break down every official detail the moment it's revealed. If you'd like to stay ahead of the curve on all the latest in smartphone technology, from deep dives into UI changes to hands-on analysis of new camera systems, please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support helps us keep bringing you the in-depth, research-driven insights you've come to expect. We've got a lot more to explore on the future of mobile tech, so stick around, you won't want to miss what's coming next.